and inspirational speaker whose enthusiastic presence inspires us all to love life passionately.
What she said.
Angelina is a heart-opening and angelic voice drawing from many languages. She was classically trained at Indiana University and was formerly with Epcot Center. They are international performers using song, stories, and humor to remind us now to open our hearts and remember that we are meant to experience heaven on earth. So let's just decide, this is an hour, we put everything out of our minds and just decide to be in heaven for this hour. Armand and Angelina.
So before, by the time we get to the offering, we'll bring you back, but is there any other announcements or mission statements or anything that you need to?
No, just go ahead.
Okay. We hope that we got our technical difficulties out of the way already. We had some, if you weren't here for it, we had some exciting things to wake you up. Practically this bigger. So we were trying to figure out, maybe this is about our 8th time to be with you here or so. We love this place. We've been following Nancy around. I've been following Reverend Nancy around since 2020. And I'm sorry, since 2000. I always get confused. Since 2000. I love to tell this story because Angelina and I were friends in 2000, and she came to Reverend Nancy's church in St. Cloud to see me on a Sunday. And while she was there, she invited me to go to Disney with her the next day, which was December 10th at your church and December 11th at Disney, and we fell in love. And we weren't allowed to be in love yet because we had some things to tie up first, but our hearts didn't know about the other situation. So we said, chill, heart, we'll work this out, and then we let them do it. So I always remember that. Didn't you get a speeding ticket or something?
No, my license plate was expired. So I'm running late to get there, and then I get stopped by a police officer because my tag is expired. But I did make it there.
You did make it. Yeah. So yes, we're going to share with you a beautiful. How many people are seeing us for the first time today? Okay, so awesome. All right, we got some new folks. If you're actually here for the first time, please give Reverend Nancy a second chance and come back next week. So let's start off with a couple of joy songs. We love to get the energy going with some joy songs. We're going to do a song called "Everything Will Be Okay in the End." If it's not okay, it's not the end. Okay, they know what you're doing like that.
It's on my favorite.
And we're going to do a little island groove. Yalla! Here's how it goes. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. We're gonna shout la la la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Every happy song has to have some sha-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide you away, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide you away, after every night, a brand new day, a brand new day, a sunny day. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the honest. Everything will be okay in the end. That was perfect. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, here comes the tricky part, Unity people. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, no matter how many times you saw the secret, it's still gonna change. That's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the audience again. Everything will be okay in the end. It's true. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, wait a day. It's not the end. It's not the end. You can't believe all they talk about on TV? Our politics? It's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. But this is the end. All right, I think today is a Love is a Boomerang Joy Song Day.
Okay.
We like to say this, we can sum up the Course in Miracles and the Law of Attraction with 4 words.
Wow.
Love is a boomerang. What we put out comes back to us, often multiplied. Now there is one little disclaimer to that. Once you really get the idea that everything's in divine order and that everything is manifesting in perfect order, and that what you put out comes back to you, there is a tendency to go, so does that mean that everything that is in my life is because what I put out? And that's not necessarily true, because there's other forces that are acting on it. Everything you put out comes back to you, but you also have a soul contract. And something that may happen in your life that you're uncomfortable with, you may have made a soul contract for that to happen, and it doesn't mean you did something bad and you're being punished. Has anybody ever felt any guilt about something they did wrong because something came in? So I always say this, you've got soul contract, you've got your power that you're putting out, and then you've got 8 billion other people also co-creating with you. So it takes some of the pressure off of us. We don't want to take guilt from maybe our childhood and bring it into unity principles by beating ourselves up if things don't go exactly perfect because we must not have done it right. Okay, enough of preaching. That's good. I can't help it.
Love is a boomerang.
Everybody sing with me. Love is a boomerang. If you give it away, it's going to come right back. Love is a boomerang. Hear the words that set you free. Love is a boomerang. Give it away and it comes back. Love is a boomerang. Love is a boomerang. Give it away and it comes right back. Love is a boomerang. Love is a boomerang. Give it away and it comes right back. Listen, everybody, what's burning in my soul is something you can use. Gonna make you healthy, safe, and whole. You can read it in the Bible. It's in the golden rule. You don't need to go to the land down under the mountains. Love is a boomerang. So is money, so is kindness. Love is a boomerang. Give it away to the boomerang. Love is a boomerang. So is anger, so is judgment. Love is a boomerang. Give it away to the boomerang. When you wake up in the morning, try different attitude. While you're drinking coffee, tell yourself it's gratitude. Try loving everything you see and change the way you live. There ain't no way out, give God, I guarantee you. Love is a boomerang. So is money, so is kindness. Love is a boomerang. Give it away to the boomerang. Love is a boomerang. So is anger, so is judgment. Love is a boomerang. Give it away to the boomerang. Love is a boomerang. I feel an old-fashioned revival coming down. Love is a boomerang. Right here at Unity and Claremont. Woo! Love is a boomerang. Can I get an amen? Amen. Oh, yeah. Love is a boomerang. Help me, Jesus. Woo! Love is a boomerang. So is money, so is kindness. Love is a boomerang. Give it away to the boomerang. Love is a boomerang. So is the enthusiasm y'all have. Oh, man. And I see a much more excited, larger number of people than when we were here last year and a half ago. So y'all are growing. Now, sometimes we can get upset because we're not growing as fast as we think we should. But I always say this, slow growth is lasting growth. Okay? Slow growth. A lot of times a new church will come in town and all the people from the one church will go to the other church and they'll say, oh, we got this huge number. Then they start working their way back. If it happens too fast, so y'all are growing just right. Now, before we go into our meditation time, Angelina's going to tell you a little bit about the elephant in the room.
Yes. Okay, so Armand is very colorful in his dress, and so I'm just going to apologize for the over-the-top color and print on a Sunday morning.
So I will tell you what happened here. So I wanted something new to our Sunday wardrobe. So I went online on Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon. I used to have a little bit of an Amazon addiction called retail therapy. During COVID, it got out of hand, and she had to help me with that. And now I'm doing way better. But so I went around and I said, colorful sports jackets. And I thought I could wear something, black slacks and a nice, something, like this. But when I saw the picture, it was a matching set. So I bought the matching set, and she didn't know about it, and I put it on, and then I walked out one day and I said, what do you think? She goes, I love it. What's it for? Are we going to some sort of 60s dress-up party? I said, it's for Sunday. And she went, I don't think so.
So I said, well, maybe if you just wear black pants and the jacket, it'll calm it down just a little.
So I wore black pants and the jacket, and it did. It looked like a nice Sunday fun thing. But then I said, honey, when we do this service, which we're doing today, called Getting High on God, that's what the name of our service is. And we've already been to the church a few times, so we know they like us. Can I wear it? She said, yeah. And I said, can I wear it to Clan Rush? She says, hell yeah. So you're getting all of me. When I saw this pattern, this is going to sound great, because we're going to be talking a lot about this today, things that make us high. But when I saw these colors, I went, this is the first thing I've ever seen in my whole life that describes what happens in my brain all the time. It's, Angelinia goes, oh my gosh, it's just what, this is it. So thank you. Thank you for celebrating me, and thanks for being in a safe place. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a simple chant as we move into our meditation time. And then when we come out of the meditation time, Angelina will sing the Lord's Prayer, and I will speak the Aramaic words around her singing. So we'll start off with a simple chant. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And that goes right in alignment with love is a boomerang, and everything will be okay in the end. Even when it doesn't feel okay at the time, we can go to a place of peace and trust. That wonderful reminder that the peace of God is available to us at all times. As we practice our unity principles, we know that all is well. We know that everything is happening in divine order, even and especially when we don't understand that. We have peace in knowing that we can affect our experience by our words, our thoughts, and our actions. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred meditative journey into that peace, into that knowing. Very gently now. Begin to bring your attention to the physical world, your chair, your body, this sacred sanctuary of acceptance and peace and wisdom, where we gather to share community, to remember the truth of who we are, divine, holy children of the universe. and to remind each other of that truth and take that truth out into the world and reflect it on everyone. Thank you, Great Spirit, for a gathering of like minds to celebrate the divine order of the universe. And so it is. Amen. I'm moving to wash mine. Need to Gadash Shmach. Tete Malkuta. Nechwai de Savinach. I can O Baracha. Haula Lachma. Nesukna Yamana. Wash Buklan Hapen. Dafanan. Shwaken El Hayaben. Ula Talan. El Isyona. El Apasan. Mingisha. Shwaken El Hayaben. Amen. And we breathe those words in, those words given to us by Jesus, our great way shower, to remind us that we were meant to experience heaven on earth, right here, right now. And we are worthy. And so it is. Amen. Welcome. We're almost standing room only. I love it. Yeah, we have chairs in the front for you. So. Is today?
The back have to come early.
Was there a I love a person that uses a lot of mirth. We tell people, they say, "What do you offer in church?" I said, "We offer message, music, meditation, and mirth." By the way, speaking of M words, was there a memo to wear red? That's really good. I've got red in here. So yes,
every color in there.
Exactly. I have pretty much every color. Today is getting high on God, getting high on spirit, getting high on life. And we're going to share with you a lot of the different things that you can do, a lot of the things that we do that really help to stay high on God, especially when a part of our psyche doesn't want to do it, doesn't understand it, doesn't think that there's any way back. But there are so many wonderful things to raise our spirits, you know, and we were talking a little bit earlier about some of them, about colors. If you have colors in your house that you resonate with, do you have something in your house you walk by and every time you do it you feel a little bit better? Part of it is the color. There is color therapy. We actually used to go to a color therapist and they can figure out what colors work best for you and what those colors are like when they're out of bounds, when they're not working well, like when you're
Like the colors within us, not
color,
what we wear.
yeah, the colors within us, but you can also wear the colors. We all know what works for us. We all know what makes us feel good. So colors.
Right, that's why we have a turquoise kitchen.
We have a turquoise kitchen.
A little cold, but you know, every time I go in the kitchen, especially if we've been on the road and we come home, every time I go in the kitchen and see turquoise, it makes me smile, it brightens my day. And so,
And that's your
a little
favorite
bold,
color.
but
That's
and
your
that
favorite
is
color.
my favorite
This is my
color.
favorite color. And you know, also aromatherapy. You know, certain smells. Aromatherapy is a whole thing around that sense. So we got our eyes seeing the colors. We got aromatherapy, essential oils and things like that make us feel good. When I smell lavender, when Angelina buys me things, she tends to buy me deodorants and things like that have lavender in them, that stuff, and shampoo and things like that. It just makes me feel a little more high. There's so many natural highs and so many different things that we can do just to raise our vibration.
Right, I think gratitude goes along with that too.
Gratitude is fantastic. What do we do when we're feeling a little down?
We do a gratitude list. We're really busy, like I'm like super busy right now, so I find I'm getting a little stressed and not like at my highest vibration. And so I grumble about something and then I'll go, I'm so grateful, blah, 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 blah. And it picks me up and makes me feel much better instead of that, oh my God, I'm so tired, I can't do this. You know, just saying like 2 or 3 things you're grateful for in that moment helps you feel more joyful.
And we try to do it in the morning, and we try to do things that we're grateful that happened on the day before we go to sleep. You know, but yeah, moving through the challenge into gratitude makes you higher. Here's a great example of that. We were hoping to do a concert this weekend, and it just didn't find its way to happen. It wasn't the right timing. And then today we talked about, why don't we share it with everybody that we're going to be doing a musical comedy show in a couple of months, and that way it's not sprung on them the day before Sunday. We got people seeing us here for the very first time. It was in divine order to not do it yesterday, so we can do it in a couple of months for you. Y'all going to come back on a Wednesday night for a musical comedy show? Okay, good. Like with pledge programs, get their name and number. But yeah, so it's a great way to raise your spirit is to look for the lemonade with the lemons. Now we talked about this in 21 when we were here, but I want to share because it kind of goes in along with this concept today. We have a thing called a gratitude, and it rhymes with ratatouille, and it's spelled Grati, the number 2, we, gratitude. And a gratitude is every time you think a thought or say something or act in a way that you're not comfortable with, rather than beat yourself up and say, there's something wrong with me, go, you know what? I'm going to compensate that with 2 positive things. So I'll give you an example. If you've ever been on I-4, you might go, oh, that idiot just cut me off. Now what you've done is you've said sort of something negative, you've lowered your vibration. You got caught up in the real world. You're not supposed to be of the world, you're supposed to be in the world, as some scriptures say. And then you go, but you know what? So what you've done is you've stepped back a little bit in your consciousness because you got angry and you got mad at somebody and you called them a name. Hopefully not to where they could hear you. But then you say, and I'm grateful he didn't hit me. Right. So now you're back where you started. And then I'm grateful that I'm not in the car with her. Now you're even further in consciousness than before you had the little misstep. You know, I learned in Unity what a sin was according to some ancient texts. A sin is an archery term. Like if you were supposed to hit the bullseye and you were 2 inches off, they said, oh, you sinned by 2 inches. You just missed the mark. Anybody ever miss the mark? Any reason to feel like you're going to go to hell for it? That's not how you handle miss the mark. You just get a little better. You learn from it. You can't really mess up because either you do it right or you learn from it. You win either way. Do you know where good judgment comes from? Experience. Do you know where experience comes from?
Poor judgment.
Poor judgment. Exactly right. So all of your poor judgment is leading you to be a better good judgment. Thank you. Yeah. Most people don't know that. Good. And so that's it. That's it. All these different ways and these tools that we can use. Now, my favorite thing to raise me up, to raise my spirits, the thing that makes me the most high on life is people that I love. You know, and it's the easiest with Angelina. She's with me 24/7, so I get high just being in her company. But we all have a need for community, okay? We may have a need for our alone time too, but they found out during the great pause, we'll say 220 through 222, that people were getting deficient in the second vitamin C, vitamin community. And that deficiency led to mental health challenges and lots of other things. And I just call the blanket of they lost their buzz. And being around people that you love and being able to visit people you need to see. We went to see her parents, you know, twice during that time. And some people were like, you shouldn't do that. And I said, you know what, we need to be around them. We're going to be careful. And everything was fine. But we need our community because some people didn't see people for a few years and then one of them passed away. And they didn't have that. So we're getting that community.
Vitamin Connect.
Vitamin Connect. Oh, I didn't say that. The second vitamin C, Vitamin Connect. And that's really what we come here for. We ultimately come here to connect with other people and remind each other how fabulous we are. You know, I heard a minister last Sunday. Where were we? We were in Charlotte. And we were there speaking at an independent New Thought church. And he said something really cool. He says, do you know that not only do we need God in our life, but God needs us? And I'm thinking, really, God needs us? Yeah, because God created each of us differently because he wanted that color in his tapestry. And we're the only ones. We're the only ones that can give God that particular color. So isn't it wonderful to say, thank you, God, for being here for me, and I'm glad I'm here for you. You're welcome. You know? And so we're connected. You know, I was taught when I was a kid that I had no connection to God. And that I had to just beg for everything. You know, beg and pray because and hope God was listening. And then I realized, no, God is within me. I am one with that spirit. And so it changed everything. So
we can also talk about like the natural chemicals in our brains, the happy drugs.
That's right. Let's talk about some happy drugs. Now, there's a lot of different names for them. There is dopamine, my drug of choice. I love dopamine.
Which is pleasure, joy.
Kind of like the pleasure drug, riding a roller coaster. I've learned a new source of dopamine. Doing something you hate.
Wow.
I know, sometimes that's kind of weird. Now, sometimes you get dopamine from accomplishing something that you really don't want to do. But you accomplish it and then you get the dopamine after. My father used to say this to me, and it's one of the few things that I use all the time. What's hard is easy and what's easy is hard. And I said, well, that makes no sense, Dad. And then he explained it to me. He goes, give you an example. You cook a nice big meal, there's a bunch of dishes in the kitchen, and you're like, I'm going to leave that tomorrow. That's the easy thing to do. Tomorrow it's going to be caked on. It's going to be much harder. Do the hard thing to do, which is clean them all up, and then tomorrow is easy. So I've always been a person that wanted to do the comfortable, easy thing. And I didn't always get the results I want by choosing the easy thing. So what I've been doing lately is thinking about things that are uncomfortable and working through that for the greater reward. And here's the one that's been working the best for me as far as dopamine. Has anybody ever heard of cold water therapy? I started doing that a few months ago. Now, I can't think of anything I like much less than cold. When I was a kid, I grew up in cold, wet Louisiana, and our winters were cold, and when I got to Florida, I'd say this is where I belong. You know, 80 degrees is a cool day. You know, I like it 80 and up. And so I started reading about the extra dopamine and what Angelina is calling the happy drugs that you get when you do something like cold water therapy. What happens is while you're in there, there's a part of your brain that goes, we're going to die. Hypothermia, we're going to die. So we need to strengthen our blood vessels. We need to strengthen our organs. We got to save this person. We don't know how long he's going to be in this frozen water. Let's build up. Let's get strong. Blah, blah, blah. And then 3 to 6 minutes later, you get out. You're loaded with all it's like adrenaline, but it's really dopamine and norepinephrine, but it's the same kind of thing. You feel way better, all because you did a few minutes of something you really, really didn't like. I'll tell you the greatest thing that I did that I never wanted to do that turned out great. Monogamy. That was not my deal. I wanted to be getting, dopamine from lots of different sources my whole life. That's what I needed. That was my number one source. And so I said to Angelina, I said, we were dating, hanging out for a while, and I said, this is the way I am, this is the way I am. She said, okay, whatever. At one point I said, would you still love me if I was with another girl? And she said, yes, I would. I'd miss you. So I did something really, really uncomfortable. I gave up something that I really, really loved and enjoyed. And the rewards have been phenomenal. Because I already knew how the other way worked for 12 other relationships. It didn't work so good. But there are things that can raise...
I want to go back to the cold plunge. So we travel all over, and Armand, it could be an ocean, it could be a pool, and so you're also getting vitamin connect, because people think it's really crazy that he's going in a pool. We're in Louisiana in December, and it was quite chilly, and he's in the pool every day. So you are getting...
That's why people come and video, look at this idiot. And they'll say, oh, I wouldn't like that. I go, I don't like it. I like how I feel afterwards. Sometimes getting out of bed, getting out of your pajamas, even if you don't have anything to do, getting in a shower, shave if you're a guy, things like that. All of a sudden, I didn't really want to do it. You do it and you feel better. My favorite example of that is most of the dogs that I have owned have not wanted water and soap on them. They liked musk. They liked that smell they had. They felt good. They go, yeah, people will hear me. They'll smell me before I get there. Yeah. And then you get them all soaked up and lathered. And you have to usually use a leash, and they're not liking it. Then you rinse them all off, and they go. And they start running around like crazy because they too have gotten loaded with happy drugs. So we're going to sing a song about happy drugs. This song was written after I went to a YOU rally, which is the Youth of Unity. I was a YOU sponsor for many years. And we went and spent 3 days with a whole bunch of YOUers, probably about 150 of them, all from the Southeast region. And after it was over, I was high for weeks. And I found out what it's called. It's called the rally high. You have so much fun, and you have so much connection, and everybody's so loving, and it's a little bit like going to Shangri-La before you have to come back to the real world, but it lasts with you for a while. So I wrote this song called I Get High on YOU. I Get High on the Youth of Unity. We're going to sing it as I Get High on YOU, because I'm getting high being around you. Hopefully you're getting high being around us and being here with your friends. And so this is a call and response, which is what a recovering control addict loves. Whatever I do, you do it too. Oh yeah. Thanks, Reverend Nancy, for bringing us back. She almost always says yes. We just have to work a date out. I get high on YOU.
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 I don't need a train.
Don't need a
I
train.
don't need a ship.
Don't need a ship.
I don't need a plane.
Don't need a plane.
To take this trip.
You take this
I
trip.
don't need a drug.
Don't need a
I
drug.
don't need a brew.
Don't need a brew.
But I get high
I get high
on YOU.
on YOU.
I get high on YOU.
I get high on YOU.
I get high on YOU.
I get
joy.
Feel joy.
I see you as
I see you as
young and wild.
young and wild.
Cause in God's eyes,
In God's
you're
eyes,
still a child.
you're still a child.
I get high on YOU.
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 Follow us and you'll get high too.
Follow us and get high too.
Amen. So I love to think of myself as a child of God. That makes me high. That makes me feel good. I am a child of God. And I am giving God great pleasure by being here. All of us are. We're children of God. You know how I know that I am a child of God? I never read in any holy text that we are adults of God. We haven't. Process of deduction. Process of elimination. Speaking of process of deduction, squirrel. Sherlock Holmes and Watson were camping. And Sherlock said, Watson, when you look up at the night sky, what do you deduce? Watson was obviously a Unity person. He went, I deduce that we are all connected to all that is. That we are stardust from ancient universes. And we are all here in one divine oneness. And Sherlock says, no, you fool. Someone stole our tent. Thank you very much.
So another way to get high, speaking of being outdoors and all, is being in nature. You know, just get the sun on you and go barefoot in the ground. Because they say we live in a cement world, so we're always on cement and our feet aren't in the earth. And
Or hardwood.
or hardwood, right? And so it's really good. It's called grounding, and it's you go and put your feet in the soil and the sand, and there's like these ions that come through you and make you feel really good and give you energy, and so go barefoot.
Yeah.
And it's not just a thought, it's actually a physical thing. They've proven that you have increased norepinephrine and dopamine and things like that walking through a forest, looking at mountains. For me, I'm an ocean guy. You know, so anytime we're playing near the beach, I try to get to the ocean. We were in Myrtle Beach 10 days ago, I guess, Myrtle Beach, and I got in that ocean each day. And it was
6 minutes.
It was 50. It was 50 degrees in the ocean, but it was 40 degrees getting out. And so then after I got out of the ocean, I skipped down the beach. And you might say, why would anybody skip down the beach in a bathing suit in 40-degree weather? Trust me, it felt so good to get out of the water. I feel so much better. Plus the skipping raises my heart rate and gets me warm while I'm doing it. But it was so funny to be skipping down the beach and watching all these people walking with their dogs and their families with coats and buttons. There's Armand skipping down the beach. You know, I have no need for attention. But then I've told a lot of people about it. I said it really, really works. Yesterday, I did it 3 times. I did it before I played tennis. It gave me some energy. And then when I got home, I had work to do, and I thought, I'm kind of tired from playing tennis, and it would be just so easy for me to turn the TV on. And I said, I've got work to do. We're getting ready to go on tour soon. I'm going to do some work. I got in that pool again for 6 minutes, and then I did 4 hours worth of yard and beach work because we have a little beach in our backyard. And so a lot of people say, so how do you clean your beach? I said, I vacuum it. And people go, how do you vacuum a sand beach? And here's how I vacuum a sand beach. I have a shop vac. I plug it in and I walk around. And I go just above the surface. And the little twigs and the little leaves are lighter than the sand if I do it just right. Sometimes I don't do it right. I end up getting some sand. But overall, I get all the stuff that's not pretty to me off the beach, and I feel better. It took me a few hours yesterday because I hadn't done it in a while. But raising the vibration in nature, I mean, that's why we love to do walks in nature. All of us feel, actually physically, chemically, you're getting those wonderful things. I think serotonin might be one of the happy drugs you get when you're in nature. Dopamine, roller
And
coasters.
let's talk about oxytocin.
And oxytocin, that is the love hormone. That's where you get from community. That's what you get when you're hugged. I don't know if this is exactly accurate, but I heard it's got to be a 4-second or more hug. And that's when you get that extra oxytocin. And so let's hug more.
So I'm gonna talk about dogs.
I love
the
dogs.
study they did with dogs.
Why don't you tell about the study they did with dogs?
So they did a study with dogs.
Did they do a study with dogs?
They did.
Okay, good.
And I think it would be true for cats too. So the study was that when a dog is being petted and affection from a human, when you stop, like come here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you're petting the dog and he's loving it, and you stop and you nudge for more. They found that the dog is getting oxytocin when you do that. So we get oxytocin by petting our dog and all that. And cats do the same thing.
Oh yeah, our cat, if I stop petting our cat, the cat's like, what? You're here and I'm here, why would you not keep doing it? And then, nudges up against it. They probably don't know it, that it not only feels good emotionally, but it actually physically feels good. And so that's how we get high and try to stay high. And especially when something happens that you're real uncomfortable with and you may get a little resentment and upset, that will lower your happy drugs. So we find a way to get those happy drugs back up. And nature is a wonderful thing. Animals are a wonderful thing.
And they say that drinking water hydrates you. And when you're hydrated, it also brings you more energy and lifts you up.
Exactly. And going to see concerts, watching some of your favorite shows. We have a show, we've seen them all about 3 times. It's a 3-series set. We turned Kevin and Joey onto it. It's called Ted Lasso. Do we have any Ted Lasso folks out here? Just y'all. So last time we were here, we did a sermon called The Gospel According to Ted. And it didn't matter if you knew who he was. I was going to explain to you all the positive things. I just heard one good the other day while we were watching for the 3rd time. So if you like feel-good TV shows, unfortunately, you have to get another streaming subscription, which we all love. It's like $10 a month to have Apple TV. You can watch it till you watch all of Ted Lasso and then get rid of it. We just got rid of ours because we've seen them all 3 times. But what happened is a young man, his restaurant was vandalized. That was Sam's restaurant got vandalized. And he was very upset. And he says, Dad, I gotta fight back. He goes, no. You don't have to fight back. Fight forward. Rebuild your restaurant. And he says, you want to really anger the people that did this to you? Forgive them. And that message made me feel good. It doesn't really anger the people, but it gets rid of your anger. Forgive. Fight forward. Rather than fight back against something, fight forward for what you like. Somebody said one time, I'm not against stuff, I'm for stuff. I don't want to talk about that I'm against war, I'm more pro-peace. Now sometimes we have to look at what we're against a little bit to get more affirmative about what we're for. And that can have time, but we don't want to spend too much time complaining about what we don't like. We don't want to spend too much time complaining about the way the world is. We want to focus our forwardness in seeing the world how we think it would be better and helping to raise that up ourselves. So, we're going to give you, how's our time here? Oh, we're doing good. We're going to give you a little sample of what's going to happen at the comedy show. It's either going to be April 3rd, April 10th, or April 17th. We don't know yet, but you're going to be involved, hopefully, and letting them know, oh, we're going to be out of town this day. Can you do it? 3rd, 10th, or 17th. Those are the dates. Already done. Now, one of the things that makes us both very full of dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin, because sometimes we get hugged by characters at Disney. We are in love with Disney. We love to go. We get a pass every 2 to 3 years.
We're walking. We're active.
We're seeing beautiful sights.
Right.
We're
Connecting
eating
with
beautiful
people.
food. We get to see Goofy, my mascot. It's a wonderful place. And what I used to say about Disney, no matter what's going on in the world, people come there for one thing, to enjoy themselves. And we all become one in Disney. You don't see a lot of problems with people fighting. Well, they fight with their kids by 5 p.m. But anyway, you know what Epcot stands for? You know what Epcot stands for? Every person comes out tired. You can always see the parents at Magic Kingdom about 5 o'clock. So this is like number 30, 40 something. This is a song called I'm a Disney Freak. one of the ways that Angelina and I get high, and as I said, our very first falling in love day, December 11th, 2000 at Animal Kingdom. I started way back in 1971. Old Walt built a park down the road and it looked like fun. So I hopped in my car with my dad and we gave it a try. And I fell in love with a mouse with a gleam in his eye. 'Cause I'm a Disney freak, I got an annual pass. I don't miss a thing 'cause I walk real fast. I know every park like the back of my hand. And if you're going with me, I'll have your day all planned. M-I-C-K-E-Y, I'm a Disney freak. I always wanted to travel, but I didn't have enough legal tender. But now, Nancy, I've been around the world 100 times at the Epcot Center. And I don't have to worry if I hunger for a foreign taste. You know why? 'Cause Epcot's always got what I need at the World Showcase. 'Cause I'm a Disney freak, I got an annual pass. I don't miss a thing 'cause we walk real fast. I know every part like the back of my hand. And if you're going with me, I'll have your day all planned. M-I-C-K-E-Y, I'm a Disney freak. Let me tell you about this. They got Epcot Center, the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, the Animal Kingdom, Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach, Pleasure Island, always New Year's Eve, except they don't have that there anymore. Disney free. Just like Walt Disney World, we got a souvenir shop at the end of the ride. So if you're planning on staying on the Disney property, we're gonna come visit. You might as well give us a key. And we're gonna see every parade and fireworks show. So if you wanna have a goofy good time, better get up and go. Gosh, I'm a Disney freak. I got an annual pass. I don't miss a thing 'cause I'm walking real fast. I know every part like the back of my hand. And if you're going with me, I'll have your day all planned. M-I-C-K-E-Y, I'm a Disney freak. That's your part. M-I-C-K-E-Y, I'm a Disney freak. One more time. M-I-C-K-E-Y, I'm a Disney freak.